Good afternoon, fourth grade. We're going to read a text about Bastet or Bast. This is a descriptive text, and so you are going to be using your graphic organizer you would use for descriptive text with the main idea in the middle and then for details. Before we get started, we want you to do a quick write. It says, who is Bast and what makes her unique? So think about what you already know about Bast from the novel, The Red Pyramid, and write down 2 to 3 sentences about her. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the focus question. What is Bastet's role among the Egyptian gods and goddesses? And remember, she has 2 names, Bastet and Bast, so we refer to her both names throughout the text. Our vocabulary words are millennia, and that's thousands of years. Domesticate, that's when you tame an animal and you make it a pet. So these bulls are domesticated. And then divine, that's someone who is like a god or a god. And so if Bastet is a cat goddess, Bastet is also divine. All right. As we're reading, I want you to, in these first 2 pages, think about what the author's telling us about the Egyptian gods and goddesses, and then we're going to underline 4 details. Turn in your text to the beginning and get ready to underline information about the Egyptian gods and goddesses. The cosmos was full of animals, and cosmos is another way of saying the world. The world was full of animals. But some were better than others. The bull, the ancient Arak bull, they originated in India and over the millennia galloped across northern Africa and Europe. They were enormous, taller than a man at the withers. Their lyre-shaped horns angled forward, perfect for tossing away an attacker or impaling him. And so you could imagine that they're talking about bulls, and if you turn to your vocabulary page, you have a picture of a bull, so you can see what the author's describing. The cows and calves were red, but the bulls, or coal-black, were a pale eel spinal striped that lent a majestic air, marking them as the most lethal of beasts. Not even a lion pride would take on an Arak bull. Hunting them took great courage or stupidity. Domesticating them took smarts and patience. It made sense, then, that the gods Ra and Ta transformed themselves at will into bulls and snorted and pawed the earth to remind everyone of their power. The ability of transformation was a lovely thing indeed. When it came down to the basics, all deities had similar bodies. Really, all were made of precious stones. The bones were silver, the flesh gold, the hair lapis lazuli. But divine beings could assume other colors because of associations. You see, her skin was black-green to remind people of the rich, fertile soil left behind after the Nile's floods receded. Ra's skin was blue when he felt victorious and took on a name, Amun-Ra, and let swirls of air shoot from his hands and head. All so that, next page, people would think of the destructive powers of wild winds. Many carried the same objects. A Waz scepter in one hand, with a forked bottom designed to catch serpents, and an ankh in the other, the cross with a loop on top. A few carried objects unique to them, though such as the scribble palette of Tahuti, other objects that showed their nature, such as a bow and arrows, or a mace in the hand of the goddess Nit, or the war god Montu. Yet the gods didn't all present themselves in the same way to humans. The deity's ability to transform meant sometimes people didn't realize they were in the presence of the deity until something miraculous occurred. Some deities refrained from transforming and walked in human form only. Most older deities were like that, Shu and Nut and Geb. Geb often carried a goose on his head, but he didn't become a goose. Even Nebet-Hut and Aset, next page, the daughters of Geb and Nut, appeared only in human form, although sometimes Aset donned bird wings. Other deities appeared in animal form only. The goddess Hektet, the wife of Khnum, was a frog. The city of Eneb-Hej worshipped a bull god called Hapu, the herald of the god Ta. Lower Egypt worshipped the serpent goddess Wadjet. Some deities appeared in mixed animal form. The goddess Ta'aret had a torso of a head of a hippopotamus, but lion limbs, and sometimes her tail was crocodilian, while other times she carried a crocodile on her back. But many gods appeared in multiple forms. The god Sobek was a man with a crocodile head, or instead fully crocodile. The god Set could appear as a fabulous creature with squared-off ears, a curved snout, a forked tail, and a canine body. He seemed a blend of aardvark, jackal, and donkey, but sometimes he was a man with only the head of an amazing animal. Upper Egypt worshipped the goddess Nekhbet, who could be fully woman, fully vulture, or a woman with a vulture head. The abilities of the deities to appear in different forms helped distinguish among them. Tahuti, for example, was the only god who appeared as an ibis with an ibis head. The god's appearance reflected his temperament of the moment. Hut-Haru could go as a woman with a cow head, nurturing and milky, except when the goddess Sekhmet within her bursts forth as a woman with a lion head or fully lioness, and find the heads and bodies of rams and falcons and vultures and cows and serpents and so many animals, all hosting deities depending on their mood. Let's go back. What did we learn about the Egyptian gods in this first 4 pages? Well, we learned that the Egyptian gods and goddesses can take on many forms, depending on their mood. Write that down in the box that says topic. The Egyptian gods and goddesses can take on many forms, depending on their mood. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for some details. And now we're going to go back and underline details that support our answer. And we can go to the second page. And we can in the second paragraph, yet the gods didn't all present themselves in the same way to humans. Okay, that means that they were able to transform. You can write down that sentence for detail number 1. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the second detail. All right, it says some deities refrained from transforming and walked in human form only. That's detail number 2. Silently write that down for detail number 2. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the next detail. If we go to the next detail, we know that other deities appeared in animal form only, and some deities appeared in mixed animal form. Write both of those sentences for detail number 3. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the next one. It says, but many gods appeared in multiple forms. Write that down for detail number 4. Okay, and now we're going to go to our next page that talks just about Bastet. Okay, it only tells us about Bastet, so we're going to collect details about who Bastet is and how we know that. So I'm on the 5th page. But only one goddess was a cat, Bastet. Many went as lions, revered out of fear, but the cat was appreciated out of admiration and affection. Farmers loved cats because they protected grain stores from rodents and snakes, especially cobras. Oh, mongooses could kill cobras too, but Maftet, the mongoose goddess, was sometimes mistaken for a cat. But it was only Bastet who purred. Okay, so we know Bastet is unique. Bastet is the only goddess that takes on cat form. Bastet is the only goddess that takes on cat form. Silently write that down in the box that says topic. Okay, and now we're looking for 4 details. City people, too, encouraged cats to come around. Cats kept the streets free of vermin, after all, and there was a mystery to the cat, a way it stayed aloof at times, yet could be endearingly friendly at others. This behavior made the cat prized. Besides, cats loved to bask in the all-powerful sun. They clearly understood the cosmos. Rich people hung gold jewelry from their necks of their cats and fed them from their plates bread, milk, fish slices. Next page. When a cat died, the owners shaved their eyebrows in mourning and embalmed the cat with spices and drugs and mummified it in white linen to preserve it for the everlasting. The penalty for killing a cat, even by accident, was death. Priests have cats roam temples to remind people of the goddess Bastet. When the city of Pur-Bast in the Nile Delta became a residence for the pharaoh, a temple to Bastet was built. It was smaller than some, but more beautiful than all others, and a canal around it and groves of fruit trees. Thousands of people made the annual pilgrimage to Pur-Bast in April and May to gaze in awe of the massive statue of Bastet. Women shook sistrum rattles, and men blew pipes and beat drums and played tambourines. People clapped and sang and danced in the street, which ran with wine. All of this for Bastet, just a kitty, but a loved kitty is worth a dozen feared lions. All right, let's go back and see what our author has to say about Bastet. First, we know that in Egypt, cats are appreciated out of admiration and affection. That means that cats are respected in ancient Egypt. That's our first detail. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the second one. And we know that, the people in Egypt, they not only did they respect cats, but they also, had cat jewelry and fed cats from their plates in honor of Bastet. So for detail 2, people in Egypt had cat jewelry and fed their own cats from their plates because they respected Bastet so much. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for number 3. People in Egypt even mummified their cats. After their cats died, they mummified them so that they could see them in the afterlife. Press pause to write down your answer for detail 3 and play when you're ready for detail 4. And last, they had a celebration every year to honor Bastet. There was a celebration every year to honor Bastet. That's detail number 4. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the paragraph. It says, what is Bastet's role among the Egyptian gods and goddesses? And you can use your last notes page, this page, to help you come up with your answer. And then the last thing you're going to do is complete the exit ticket. And you can go ahead and cross out the first 3 questions, 1A, 1B, and number 2. I decided to do something different, so you don't have to do this. And then answer numbers 3 through 11. Is it 11? 3 through, here we go, 3 through 12.